Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How's it going? Isn't it nice to wake up in the morning and all of a sudden we have these huge futures out there? Good morning, Julie, Ron, Fred, Gavin, Dick. How are you? How's it going, Thomas? It's a pleasant surprise. Unfortunately, Walmart is not too happy today. Although Walmart is one of these companies that I'm not a long-term trader, but I certainly have some long-term Walmart. But I don't typically we don't typically talk about long-term here. But Walmart pulling back like this, when the time is right, Walmart might be a good one to take a look at. I don't think the time is today, not at all, and it could go lower yet. So when the time is right, we'll take a look at Walmart, and that might be an add to or buy for those longer term traders. So the market here, we're above the T line. That's a good thing. That's a start. That is a start. I think I think we have a lot more to go here before the market can turn around. Before it can actually get going, it needs to put in some kind of a trend, and that trend it'll look like this right here. It'll look something like that, where you have a low, a high, higher low, higher high. Has to establish that the bulls are in town, and that's how you establish the bulls are in town. Big futures pop today. Be careful not to chase too much. I'm actually looking for a rally and then shorting to set up again and more downside. If I'm wrong, fantastic. I think that's fantastic. I would love for the market to be up here trading, and I'm not going to be very super bullish until we get through that 50 period moving average. After that, I could get pretty darn bullish. But anything between here and the 50 up here, I'm going to take trading with a bit of a grain of salt and just be a little careful with it. So, alrighty, let's take a look at UVXY. That's something I always keep an eye on. And you can see the fear has just been dwindling, just absolutely dwindling here. So maybe we pop down a little bit lower. We get down to here to about that 1390 area, and we get this double bottom. What's going to happen there? I don't know. I can't predict it. Could bounce up. We could fall through. So we'll keep an eye on that. A bounce up would indicate that the market is likely getting weak. Falling through would indicate the market is getting stronger. All right, let's take a look at some charts here. Here's a nice little cheapie under $2, $1.63 chart. This is a rounded bottom breakout. We're over that 50 period moving average. Well, I do not necessarily believe, in fact, I don't think this is a buy right now. I think it's moved too much. But what I do think is that we put this on our watch list and wait for that pattern setup. One of our favorites, couple of our favorites, is a 3/8 trap, is a pullback from the highest high within the past X days. I like 5 days. Pop out of the box. This could be a candidate for a pop out of the box like this. But I think with 1, 2, 3 big days, 4 days really, up. Today we're up. I don't think this is the best place to be buying, but I do think it's a chart we should keep our eyes on. Huge move, 80% to that 200 period moving average. And that's what I would be looking at for a target. EPAM is another rounded bottom breakout. and that is setting up there. Um, put a nice little trend line on that. And that's what I would want it to do. Just follow that trend line up. Uh, right now, it's set up as a buy. It's a 3/8 trap. We've got a morning star signal. So far, we're holding above the T line here. I think this EPAM is looking pretty good. WDC. WDC. I know a few people bought this yesterday and the day before. So good going. That's looking great. There's some targets up there for it. If well, let's just do this. I'm going to use the Trinicator as my trend because anything above that is a buy to me. Now I'm going to look for price action to set up is what I'm going to do. So wow, let's do this. Let's put a line right here. There we go. So above that line would be a buy, and that would be this stop area for now. Or if it starts to pull back, which is what I would really, really like, that could set up for another buy. So we've got a little low, a high. I would really love a little bit of a test in here and then move right on up. Gilead is still set up. Moving up here. We're going to leave that line. And let's take this one right here. And what I'm doing when I draw trend lines, I'm a big moving average user, huge. So what I want is price to stay above the Trinicator, the green and red dots you see right here. So that's where I'm going to put my line. I'm not going to put my line right there on price. And that's just my choice, just the way I trade. Because if price, why would I want to put a stop down here below the Trinicator? I only want to buy above the Trinicator. So why would I want to put my stop below it? Makes no sense. So that's it right there. That's the trend I'm looking at. And as long as we stay above that, I'm good. Now, because of these tops right here, I'm waiting for a good candle, which we have a good candle, and we're just kind of resting in here. We have a bit of a head and shoulders setup, or a little bit of a breakout is what I'm looking for on this. IBM has now broken out. So what this does for me, it doesn't mean that, hey, this is a buy. What it means is I can calmly, with some swagger, wait for it to set up. We don't have to, hey, IBM broke out. Let's get all excited and get into it. I don't have to do that. To start with, I think IBM has goodles of upside. Goodles of upside. Trading term for the day, goodles. So I went from the Trinicator here to the Trinicator here. That's the trend I'm looking at. So now I'm just going to calmly wait until price sets up in that area right here, now that it's broken out. 3M, I like what 3M is doing. I wish it was doing it a little better. So while this is a rounded bottom breakout and the 200 period moving average is always the directional target. So with that in mind, if we take just from these tops up, that's almost a 10% move from those tops. And that's what I want. I want to be sure that we can clear this. So really this trade might not be a good trade until we actually get up here. And then we're going to get into that, 7-8% move on 3M. I get it if somebody wants to buy it here. It's not my kind of cup of tea here because there's too many sellers fighting back. I want the sellers to give up. And that might be when the buyers can prove that it can break out here. Halliburton, like a lot of energy stocks, um, is setting up. Now, I'm long Halliburton. I bought this yesterday, but there are a ton of energy stocks out there. This is not necessarily the one to look at. There's Goodles. There's that trading word again today. Goodles of energy stocks out there. This is just one. We've crossed the 50 here, um, looking pretty good. We've got a low, a high, higher low. We've crossed the trend indicator. And crossing the 50. That was my rule yesterday when I bought it, because I bought it up here, that it had to close above that 50 period moving average, or I would close it out. Well, it stayed there, so I stayed with it. Now I'll just watch it as it starts to move up a little higher. I'm going to put a line right here. Very movable line. I'll adjust it as the picture unfolds. But there's a trend indicator, and I'm just extending it. That's all I'm doing. Some of you have heard of what we call a T-line run, which you don't get those too many these days because the market has no follow through. T-line run is when you have multiple candles that move up in a bullish, or in a bearish it would be down above the T-line like this right here without closing below the T-line. Well, that's what I want to see on the trend indicator as well. I want to see a trend indicator run. So I want to see price hold up and just keep going up. XLE, nice breakout here. Right now, a stop 80.90. That's what I like as a stop. XLE looks good. Again, there are lots of energy stocks out there, so we'll definitely be looking at more of those today. Dow Chemical. Take a look at Dow Chemical. So take right here. This would be a trend indicator run, and then it broke. Well, maybe we're ready for another one. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Maybe ready for another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here like that and just put that line right there. Looks like we're breaking out. I don't have to rush into this. I don't have to be in a hurry. What I have to do is wait for price to set up. That's what I have to do. And that could be over here in a couple of days. But if it's not on our watch list, the chances of us seeing it are slim. So I want charts like this on the watch list here. Moving up, breaking out, and then setting up right here. Thomas, we'll take a look at that, and then I'll walk away here. KHC, that's bullish. The trend is bullish. Anytime, that's a nice trend indicator run right there. So bullish. Now it comes down to how are you going to trade that? Every trader is different. How are you going to trade it? All right, everybody, I'll see you back here when the market opens up. Take care, and thank you very much.